racing day, so loud out here I can't hear a thing. Man, the fans are going wild. And these drivers came to rock, and no place else but Fox knows how to do it NASCAR style.
Boogity, 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 let's go racing, boys!
Hey now, here we go, race day. Don't you be going slow. Keep that pedal down on the floor. Push it to the crowd, can't take no more. Big hair since the flag came down. Be here to the last lap around. Worked all week, it's time to play. Gonna get a little bit sideways. Hair since the flag came down. Be here to the last lap around. Worked all week, it's time to play. Gonna get a little bit sideways.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bristol Motor Speedway, the world's fastest half mile and home to round 4 of the 2012 Goodyear Cup Series. Drivers have said trying to race at this track is like trying to fly a fighter jet in a gymnasium, so we're definitely going to trade some paint today. Rocket Man Ryan Newman set the pole time for today's race. Points leader Denny Hamlin starts way back in 23rd. He's got some work to do if he wants to leave today with his points lead. And watch out for Kyle Busch and Jeff Gordon starting on the second row. Both of these drivers have fantastic records here. They've just finished up the pre-race ceremonies, so let's go trackside for the command to fire engines, given today by the greatest actor of all time, Nicolas Cage.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
And as they roll out, let's take a look at our starting lineup. Ryan Newman sits on the pole. Starting outside of him, Carl Edwards. Row 2, Kyle Busch, who has owned this track in recent years, and Jeff Gordon. Row 3, Jimmy Johnson and Greg Biffle. Inside of row 4 is Brian Vickers. Outside of him, Elliott Sadler. Starting 9th is David Rudiman. 10th, Jamie McMurray. Row 6 has Casey Kane and Jeff Burton. Row 7 has Brad Keselowski on the inside, who has been showing promise here lately, and Kevin Harvick. Inside row 8, veteran Bobby Labonte. Outside of him is Juan Pablo Montoya. In row 9, rookie Sean Gossett coming off a third-place finish at Atlanta, and Marcus Ambrose, his teammate. Row 10, Clint Boyer, and outside of him, Tony Stewart. In row 11, it's Joey Logano and fan favorite Dale Earnhardt Jr. Row 12, points leader Denny Hamlin. Outside of him, Kurt Busch. In row 13, it's Robbie Gordon and David Reagan. Row 14 has Matt Kenseth on the inside. Outside of him, Martin Truex Jr. And finally, starting 29th, Mark Martin. About a half a lap to go here. The pace car is coming in this time by.
Reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time! Boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's go racing, boys!
Ryan Newman leads lap 1. Kyle Busch goes underneath Carl Edwards for second place. The field remains very bunched up. Here comes Kyle Busch taking a peek, not quite going to get there. Newman stays out front. So your top 3 is Newman, Busch, Edwards, and Jeff Gordon. Here comes Kyle Busch on the inside to take the lead. Looks like he's going to take it. Coming out of turn 4, Kyle Busch clears Ryan Newman, new leader. Jeff Gordon gets past Carl Edwards for 3rd. Let's take a ride on board with Gordon. Looking further back through the field, Jimmy Johnson is in 5th. Brian Vickers is working on 6th place. And we've got a car in the wall, 09. Sean Gossett goes around, and there's a huge pileup. Denny Hamlin, your points leader, is involved. Tony Stewart is involved. Dale Jr. is involved. Let's take a look at what happened to bring out this caution. Top left of your screen, let's see what happens to the 09 car. Looks like he just slides up a bit coming out of turn 4. Gets clipped by Juan Pablo Montoya. And what an escape for Clint Boyer. But the rest of the field just stacks up trying to avoid this wreck. And it's collected our points leader, Denny Hamlin. You will very likely see a new points leader at the end of this race. So while they get things cleaned up, we're going to take a break for a word from our sponsors.
Old Spice Odor Blocker Body Wash is so powerful it can block BO for 16 hours. Its blocking power is as powerful as me.
Yeah, it is.
Who said that? Is that my left bicep? No. It was my abdominals. Odor blocker body wash is too powerful to let this commercial in. Block. Building kick. Explosion! Power!
Back at Bristol Motor Speedway, the pace car has just pulled off. We are back to green flag racing. Kyle Busch chose the inside for the restart, and it works for him. He gets the whole shot. Here comes Jeff Gordon underneath Ryan Newman to take away second place. So it's Kyle Busch, Jeff Gordon, and Ryan Newman, your top three. Jimmy Johnson underneath Carl Edwards trying to take away fourth place. Coming out of the turn, they're still side by side. Jimmy Johnson in fourth by about a nose. Still side by side as the top three go single file. And Jeff Gordon moves up to the high line. No one's really been working the high line all weekend long. Let's see if it works for him. Coming out of turn 4, and he's got a run. About a quarter panel on him. This high line may work. We may have a new leader in a few laps. Down the backstretch, they're side by side. Gordon has definitely got an advantage running on the high side. Can he get him at the stripe? He does. Jeff Gordon, new leader, but perhaps not for long. Kyle Busch still fighting hard on the inside. Into 3 and 4, side by side. Brad Keselowski goes underneath. Brian Vickers makes it 3 wide, and it works. Keselowski restarted 13th. He's all the way up to 5th as we ride on board with Brian Vickers. Back at the front, Jeff Gordon has cleared Kyle Busch for the lead. Jimmy Johnson sneaks past Ryan Newman for second. You are on board with Jimmy Johnson. Kyle Busch hasn't given up yet. Trouble! Joey Logano goes around. He takes 4 more cars with him. Looks like Juan Pablo Montoya, he did not actually get hit. He gets it refired and pulls away. So the caution has come out for the second time today, just in the nick of time too. A lot of cars right at the end of the fuel window. Ryan Newman's crew goes to work. 4 tires, no adjustments. Jeff Gordon just a little loose. They're going to make a slight track bar adjustment. 4 tires, fuel, and he's away. Looks like Jeff Gordon's going to win the race off of pit road. Kyle Busch second, Jimmy Johnson third, Brad Keselowski fourth. Let's take a look at what brought out this caution. Keep an eye on Joey Logano here in the orange car. Looks like he just dives in a little too deep and clips Jamie McMurray. He does a good job of hanging on to it. And sliding up the racetrack, he collects Robbie Gordon, Jeff Burton, and Kevin Harvick. Tough break for those guys. Pace car dives onto pit road. Jeff Gordon has chosen the outside lane for the restart, and we are green with 7 laps to go. Gordon gets the whole shot. Doesn't quite have Kyle Busch cleared. Brad Keselowski moves up to the high side. It's working for him so far. Keselowski hangs on to 3rd spot. Gordon's been working that high side, and it looks like he's got some rubber laid down. The high line is really starting to come in late in this race. Kyle Busch has been fighting valiantly to get the lead back on the inside, but I think if he's going to take this lead, he's going to have to do it the Bristol way and bump Jeff Gordon out of the way. He better do it quickly, too. Time is running out. 4 laps to go. There it is. Kyle Busch tries to push Gordon out of the way. They both slide up, and Brad Keselowski sneaks underneath them for the lead. Coming around, 3 laps to go. Brad Keselowski leads that lap. Busch recovers. He remains on Keselowski's door on the inside. Kyle Busch is still there. Keselowski better watch out for another bump and run attempt. 2 to go. Keselowski stays on the high side. He's going to clear Kyle Busch. Here comes Gordon fighting back on the outside. The outside line is definitely the faster line now. White flag. Jeff Gordon and Kyle Busch side by side for second with 1 lap to go, and that's going to let Keselowski pull away. Coming out of turn 4, Keselowski steals one at Bristol, and there's contact. Jeff Gordon and Kyle Busch almost wreck across the line, but they save it. Another great finish here at Bristol. Jimmy Johnson finishes 4th, and Brian Vickers picks up an impressive 5th place finish. So Brad Keselowski started in the rear of the field today, but charged forward and takes the win for Penske. And as Brad celebrates, let's take a look at today's unofficial results. So Brad Keselowski gets the win today. Jeff Gordon finishes 2nd, and Kyle Busch 3rd. Jimmy Johnson takes home a 4th place finish, and rounding out the top 5, it's Brian Vickers. Then it's Ryan Newman, who started on pole, Carl Edwards, Elliott Sadler, Bobby Labonte, and Martin Truex Jr. Greg Biffle comes home with an 11th, Jamie McMurray 12th, Casey Kane finishes 13th, 14th is David Rudiman. Then it's Kurt Busch, Marcus Ambrose, Matt Kenseth, Mark Martin, Juan Montoya, and David Reagan to finish out your top 20. Clint Boyer was the last car to finish on the lead lap. Everybody else did not finish. Joey Logano, Robbie Gordon, Jeff Burton, and Kevin Harvick were all caught up in a late wreck. And points leader Denny Hamlin is going to take a huge hit after getting caught up in an early wreck with Sean Gossett, Tony Stewart, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. So after 4 races, we have a new points leader, Kyle Busch. Jimmy Johnson is second, and Jeff Gordon moves up into third. Then it's Bobby Labonte, the veteran, showing he can still get it done in fourth. Denny Hamlin drops all the way to fifth. Then it's Mark Martin, Carl Edwards, Kevin Harvick, Tony Stewart, and Greg Biffle. Biffle had a miserable first 2 races of the year, but came out and won last race at Atlanta and is now in the top 10 in points, so good recovery from Greg Biffle and the 16 team. Matt Kenseth falls out of the top 10 in points to 11th. Then it's Joey Logano. Brad Keselowski moves up to 12th with his win today. Brian Vickers, Elliott Sadler, Clint Boyer, Casey Kane, David Rudiman, Ryan Newman, and Marcus Ambrose to round out your top 20. Finally, it's David Reagan in 21st, Juan Pablo Montoya, Kurt Busch, then Sean Gossett, who got caught up in an early wreck. Unfortunate for him. Dale Earnhardt Jr. also got caught up in that wreck. Jeff Burton, Martin Truex Jr., Jamie McMurray, and Robbie Gordon. Well, thanks for joining us for this presentation of the Food City 500 at Bristol Motor Speedway. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope you will join us next time in Martinsville, Virginia.